Hello, it is Sunday, July 11th, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and this is my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. Today is our first Sunday crossword here on the channel, and Sunday tends to be about a mid-range difficulty, maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday in difficulty, I would say, most of the time, but it is a larger grid, so it's usually the longest solve for me, even if not necessarily the most difficult. And that will be interesting to see how it works out. The solves in general on the channel here tend to take me a lot longer than I do off the channel because of the narration. So I'm wondering if there might be a balance to strike here on Sunday, perhaps with a little bit less narration, but I find that every time I tend to do that, I end up doing the narration anyway, because it's sort of what comes naturally when you're doing this kind of video presentation. But we'll see. Art of riding and training a horse. Was that ek? I can think of the prefix, but I can't think of the actual noun for some reason. I'm going crazy here. What the doctor ordered. It could be a dose. I'm going to look at mea culpa. Mea culpa is an apology, an acknowledgement of something wrong. I need to stop doing so much narration. I'm just going to start maybe scanning through and see if I see any low-hanging fruit. I'm not even reading them. What am I doing? Well, Johnny Cash shot a man in Reno. That's an easy one. Bruins legend Phil to fans. This is one of those ones I'm sure I've entered in a crossword dozens of times, and yet I still don't remember his name. Cut it out could be stop. I mean, that's pretty easy. Which I'm always sort of slightly wary of putting in overly obvious answers to things like that. To put in other words could be rephrase. Cut it out. So it's probably not stop. It could be shoo, as in, I mean, that's more sort of get away than cut it out, but it could be. It's driving me crazy that I can't bring to mind the art of riding and training a horse. That seems like it should be a gimme, and yet I just cannot bring it to mind. I mean, it's also possible that rephrase is incorrect, although re is probably correct, because put in other words, I mean, it may not be, but it feels correct. What the doctor ordered. Lacking self-assurance, it could be un something. If you're lacking something, it could be un. Study of how gels gel. Could be something with painting. It could be something with sort of hair dressing or something like that. Could be something with chemistry. Is that what I said the first time? Feels as though I'm very scattered today. Pronounced with authority, it could be orated. Let's see if that helps with anything else. Little to a Scot. Well, I would think this would be we, so that suggests orated not to be correct. Let's put we in there. Davis of Thelma and Louise. Is that Aussie Davis? I think. Boy, this riding and training a horse. I'm gonna focus unduly on it because I feel so so frustrated around it. Pronounced with authority. Cut it out. Let's try shoe and see what happens. Lacking self-assurance. Unpoised. That doesn't work with Aussie Davis. Let's move on for now. I feel I'm getting hung up on this corner here. This is a funny thing about doing these live solves, is that I tend to, Irish writer, this is Brendan Behan. I tend to, when I'm doing these on my own, I tend to sort of flip through the puzzle a lot more easily, whereas I almost feel a sort of responsibility not to do that on the solve, and I don't necessarily know why. Contradict, it could be belie. Like n, where n equals 2k, and k is a whole number, that would be even, because anything there's twice something else. If it's a whole number, it must also be even. Or not also, but it must be even. Thomas Edison is Thomas Alva Edison. To join with rings is to wed. Wedding rings, that would be. Totalitarian, but with total as sort of a pun answer. What does that mean? Added? Is it sort of referring to totaling things up, adding them together? Is that, let's see, Goddess of the Dawn, is that Eos? Obama Chief of Staff Emmanuel would have been Rom Emmanuel. A totalitarian, I see, it's an adder, someone who adds things. That's fair enough. It's a little silly, but it's fine. Angry Wisconsin sports fans. Now, I wanted to look at this because this W is sort of unusual. I'm not sure about the sports fans part, but Milwaukee is in Wisconsin. So that's a good, helpful part of that clue. Mon Dieu, my God. In French, blank paneer dish with pureed spinach would be Pollock paneer. Indian dish. To fizzle out, not sure. They'll put you head and shoulders above everyone else. It might be plural, so there might be an S on the end, and there probably is, because precipitous would be steep. Law enforcement slangily might be the popo. The police. Let's look at the cross here. A smudge could be a blot. Unagi at a sushi bar would be eel. A way in would be entree. And that means this is probably wrong. Or something's probably wrong. Because red card, I mean, a red card could be a penalty in football. So I probably have some, oh, whoops, I spelled Pollock wrong. Whoops. Okay, red card. Heart? What is I always feel very self-conscious on these video solves when I've got something that is so close to being complete and it's not obvious. What is this? They'll put you head and shoulders above everyone else. Stilts. Dramatic accusation at a dentist's office. This is a very long answer. These I just noticed, actually. So is this the only full-length answer in the grid? It looks like it is. I don't think we have any other like that. I wonder, now, a thing I didn't point out earlier is that we have a title of this puzzle, No Ruse. And usually, I mean, certainly not always, but often when we have a title of a puzzle, the puzzle has some sort of theme and the title is related to the theme. So that might, and often also when you've got these sort of long answers with the question marks, the sort of pun indicator, those will often connect to the theme as well. And actually, the study of how gels gel, I didn't point out earlier that has a question mark. So there's probably something slightly off about it. Pablo Neruda's Blank to Line, I think this is Ode. Something to Leave to Beavers would be a dam. Autobiography subtitled The Girl Who Stood Up for Education and Was Shot by the Taliban. I suspect this is related to Malala, and it ends with ALA here, so we can probably fill that in. Is it I am Malala? She might take care of a kid on a sick day. I wonder if this, I mean, it could be kid meaning a human child, but it could also be a kid meaning a baby goat. Cyber Monday offerings, I guess, would be deals. The Adventures of Milo and Otis, 1989 film. I saw that in theaters when I was very, very young. Actress Polo, I think that's Terry Polo. She might take care of a kid on a sick day. Something mom? Miscellaneous task would be an odd job. Ah. This is Dr. Mom, I guess. I don't, is that a phrase? I don't think I've heard Dr. Mom before, but I do think that's what this is. Fire sign would be smoke. A sports broadcast feature would be slow-mo. Grammy-nominated DJ Steve, I don't know, but it could be Aoki because that's a name, surname. Singer Astley would be Rick Astley of Rickroll fame, Never Gonna Give You Up. Rock star who wrote the poetry collection The American Night. Well, that must be Jim Morrison because that fits. Of the Doors. Tajikistan, e.g. once abbreviation, that would be an SSR, Soviet Socialist Republic. To smile with one's eyes, per a modern coinage. To smile with one's eyes. I don't know, I'm not familiar with that modern coinage. Blank Gilbert, co-developer of a COVID-19 vaccine. I think that's Sarah Gilbert, I'm pretty sure, who developed the Oxford vaccine that went on to be produced by AstraZeneca. Getting Amscray under control. This is probably another theme answer, and I'll skip that for now. To greet the day is to arise. One of the Earps, it could be Wyatt Earp, although this suggests there were other Earps, and I don't know of the other Earps. So let's look. Neighborhood where you might get kimchi for short would be K-Town. It'd be Koreatown. And that suggests this Earp probably is Wyatt Earp. I mean, there might be another Earp with a W, but let's go out on a limb for now. A Vapors purchase would be an e-cigarette, an e-cig. How was I to know? I ask. How was I to know what the art of riding and training a horse is called? Long past would be of yore. Reveals probably ends with an S. Resets to zero as a scale would be tears. T-A-R-E. That's what that's called. Abrogates, rescinds, or no. Certain bridge positions would be norths because bridge uses the cardinal directions. I see blank colon / / would be HTTP as in a URL. Let's fill in some of these easy ones here. To loll would be to loaf, I think. When you're lolling around, you're loafing. Some, maybe not though. Some fencing swords. Now, I would ordinarily put épées in here, but that would be simply fencing swords, I think, and not some fencing swords. Some fencing swords. Oh, foils. Foils. A fencing sword, a foil. Yep. Mickey Kern, aka the voice of poker. I have no idea. It could be Len or Lou, 3-word name. Interesting. Okay, I think this is the first time in these videos that we've seen this dash answer. Clue, I should say, not answer. Dash clue. Now, ordinarily, when you see a dash like this, what it means is that this answer is a continuation from a previous clue, previous answer that, and so in other words, this clue is superfluous because the clue has been given elsewhere. It could be, there are times where it's not going to be the case here, but it could be, for instance, if this clue had an answer that continued around this corner, for instance, that's an example of where you might have a dash. Or, for instance, it continued on from this answer, and I don't think that's the case here either, but those are examples of how it works. It may well tie in to these question mark possible theme related answers. Many a marble bust is a torso. Here's a minor thing to look out for. This says many a marble bust. You want to make sure that this is still a singular, not a plural clue, because many a marble bust is still a torso. It's an example of many of these things. Well, golly could be OG or something like that. I mean, it almost certainly starts with O. Like yoga instructors, they are lithe. Professor Iggins is Henry as, what? Eliza, is it Eliza Doolittle would have pronounced his name in Pygmalion or My Fair Lady? A party animal with a question mark. This might, with the question mark, that sort of pun, might be referring to a political party. I mean, it may not be, but it may well be. The wealthiest professional sports organization. My guess is that it will be the N something. So the NBA, the NFL. And if I had to take a guess, I would guess it to be the NFL based on the letters that are in here. Let's see if, well, let's look at that the, because that's almost certainly correct. Biting. This is probably biting as an adjective rather than biting as a verb based on, biting meaning sort of acid, a biting remark, that kind of thing. I'm not sure off the top of my head. A bathroom cabinet item. I don't know. Let's look at some of these others. Smile with one's eyes per a modern coinage. What does that mean? Well, I mean, I know what it means physically, but what is that called? I don't think I know whatever this word is. Getting Amscray under control. Well, here again is sort of these little bits of land you can grab. There's probably an N here because we see that this is getting Amscray under control. It's that sort of gerund present. I don't know what you call that, but it's probably something of the. This is probably the. And that's extra likely here because after a DL, often you'll get an E, and this is probably another E because this word is probably a the. What do we have here? Abrogates. Oh, repeals, I suppose. Word following English or green. Nope, it's not repeal. Sorry. Because word following English or green would be tea. English tea, green tea. Abrogates, could it be repents? Appetizers filled with potatoes and peas. Nope, it's none of these. Good God. Because an appetizer filled with potatoes and peas is a samosa. And that's a nice tie-in here with palak paneer, and samosas, two delicious Indian dishes. Is abrogates repeats? Do I just not know all the senses of that word? I must not. Wait, interesting. Reply to an oversharer would be TMI, too much information. So this English in green is probably not T. So let's see. So what is that actually? I'm not actually sure off the top of my head. We'll come back to it. So, so abrogates probably is repeals then. English lit makes sense. English literature is green lit. Is that, green lit, as in to green light something. So so that's actually a compound word as opposed to two separate words, and that's fair enough. Reveals, I'm not sure. Let's look at this. One of the Jacksons. Oh, I don't remember. From the Jackson 5, I assume is what this means, but I don't remember all their names, unfortunately. Maybe after I see some more crosses. John Winston blank Lennon. Oh, I assume this is John Lennon from the Beatles, but I don't know all of his names. Oh, wait. Interesting. Getting Amscray under control. So Amscray means shoe, and we have shoe in the grid. Interesting. Now, does that mean this isn't shoe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head what the convention is here in terms of being able to reuse parts of an answer in another answer. That is interesting. Oh wait, I bet this is John Winston Ono Lennon. I bet he added Ono to his name following his marriage to Yoko Ono. I bet that's the case. I mean, it might not be, but I'm going to take a guess for now. Interesting. Campaign pros would be polls, and this would be a political campaign. So there is a lot of sort of internal reflection going on in this puzzle, because I do suspect, I don't remember where it is, but there was that party animals clue, and I sort of suspect that has to do with political parties. I still don't know what this dash clue is about. Something to play fetch with is probably a stick with a dog. Well, golly, could that be G? Or could this be OG? Let's put it in and look around here. A party animal. I mean, a lackey, a political lackey? I don't know. Cake topper would be an icer. Someone who tops cakes would be an icer. Oh, you know what? I was completely off base with this. This dash is simply a minus sign. It was a bit of, I suspect, intentional misdirection, because there's clearly some kind of theme going on here, but that is not what this is. That's just a minus sign. Eagle-like. It could be eagle the animal. It could be eagle as in the golf score. I don't remember what that score is, because I know basically nothing about golf. This could be Lou, but that would be unusual to have two U's in a row at the beginning of a word. Let's see. I had a bit of a run there, but I feel as though I'm losing steam. Spongy toys are Nerf somethings. It could be Nerf darts, Nerf balls. Oh, reveals would be bears, so I think that is Nerf balls. To parrot. Now this could be, well, I said to parrot, already assuming it's the verb. It could be parrot the bird, and it could be parrot as to repeat something somebody has said, to parrot something. I'm not sure which. 1 in 100. I mean, it could be something having to do with a cent or you know, pence. One out of 100. It could be something else. Power of a cowboy's shoe. I suspect this will be boot something, or it could be have boot at the end or somewhere else. Defendant's plea for short. I suspect this is nolo contender. Might be pronouncing that incorrectly. Tora Bora, Afghanistan. So this probably is boot. In a sense, colloquially. It's probably sorta. This is this dramatic accusation at a dentist's office probably ends with tooth, because it probably does. Colorful food fish. Is that opas, I think? Yeah, admit to would be cop to. Spanish that would be eso. Odysseus's wife whispers sweet nothings. I think Odysseus's wife in the Odyssey is Penelope. Penelope coos. Okay, so this starts to maybe suggest that the theme is, oh, maybe not. Penelope coos. Is there a Penelope Cruz? Is that something? I don't know. Cred would be rep, your reputation. Campaign for, this could be another sort of light political tie-in. Itself in Latin would be ipso. World's oldest alcoholic beverage, mead? I was going to say beer, but actually mead is probably predates beer. A port on the Black Sea, yeah, is Odessa. Oh, Latoya Jackson. Latoya Jackson. Sorry, I should have remembered that earlier. With wisdom would be sagely. Seriously annoys with off. Seriously annoys with off. Goes off? But that's not, yeah. Pulitzer-winning playwright from Independence, Kansas. That would be Inge. I mean, I don't know where he's from, but certainly it's a playwright. Parrot would be imitate. So, oh, whoops, I spelled Penelope wrong. Penelope, I wrote. Oof. That's why I didn't get this seriously annoys. Tease off. That's a lot more straightforward. Sorry about that. Now, I'm trying to think. Do these clues? No. I was wondering if they all have and in them, but they don't. Oh, wait. Oh wait, taming of the shoe, taming of the shoe, taming of the shrew, getting Amscray under control. And actually, oh, so what does that mean here? Penelope Coos. Is this some? I must be missing. I must be missing something about this because it appears that the pattern here is to remove an R from part of the phrase. So taming of the shrew becomes taming of the shoe. And when I looked at this Penelope Coos, the thing that came to mind was Penelope Cruz, but I can't think if that's a person with whom I'm familiar or what that is. I'm not sure who Penelope Cruz is. It just sounds like a plausible name. That suspects that implies that this boot would be brute, and the power of a cowboy's shoe. You could see that being brute force, boot force, or something like that. But that's not enough letters. I'm going to come back to here since we're almost. Oh, biting would be tart, and a bathroom cabinet item is a razor, and that means smile with one's eyes is smize. I have never heard this before. That must be what it is. What does that mean? Is that a portmanteau of smile and eyes? Smize? What an odd word. I mean, to me, a smile already implies that your eyes are involved, but I don't know. President Bartlett of the West Wing. That is Jed Bartlett, I think. Hallmark.com purchase e-card. Here's a small tip for you. In the New York Times crossword, this I have to be honest is one of my least favorite conventions in cluing in the New York Times crossword. It is the practice of adding e to just about anything that is associated with the internet. Now, I suppose e-card is basically a phrase. I mean, so it's fair enough, I guess. But they will prepend e onto just about any word if it's got an internet connotation, and I find it a little bit of a reach often, but it's a good tip to have. Constellation almost above the North Pole. I'm not sure offhand. This red card, I don't. Why do I not get this? I don't know. Khan, Prime Minister of Pakistan, beginning in 2018. Oof, embarrassing. I'm not sure offhand. Angry. Oh wait. Okay. Angry Wisconsin sports fans. So this presumably now is going to be part of this sort of R-less theme here. So this Milwaukee, I suspect, this will be a word that would ordinarily have an R after the B. So it'll be Milwaukee Boo something, I bet. And it's plural, so it'll end with an S. So, I mean, it must be Milwaukee Booers because they're angry, so they're booing. I don't know I'm not sure what the Brewers, is that? I mean, it must be Brewers. Like beer brewers, I guess. I mean, that must be what it is. Okay. 36 Downs anagrammatic nickname, Jim Morrison. He went by Mr. Mojo Ryzen, I guess, to make the anagram work. There's no G on the end. Increased with up. Probably ends with D because it's past tense. Opposite of takes off. Could be dips. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Let's look at the crosses. Oh, Imran Khan, Prime Minister of Pakistan beginning in 2018. Is that correct? Opposite of takes off. Maybe I'm wrong. Gay City in a Cole Porter song would be Paris. Increase with up. I mean, it must end with D. Jumped up, it could be, or pumped up. Probably pumped up is more likely, I would suspect, because it's something you would. I mean, it could be, honestly, it could be either, but J is a lot less likely to be the conclusion of a word. Lunchtime liaison. I mean, this could refer to the meeting itself, liaison. It could refer to a participant. the person with whom you liaise. Fizzle out would be to peter out. I don't know why I didn't say that earlier. Not gross is probably net, as in net gain rather than gross gain, the gain after costs have been subtracted. Altogether is probably en masse. Let's see. Salt's musical partner would be Peppa, Salt and Peppa of Push It fame, I think. Bands you might listen to in the car. Okay, this is fun. This is a fun, maybe intentional callback to the AM/FM radio theme from earlier in the week. If you remember that, I don't recall which day that was. It might have been Monday, Tuesday, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. So, onus for a magician's disappearing act. This is probably another one of these R-less theme answers, I would suspect. So let's see. Onus for a magician's disappearing act. And it's going to almost certainly have a double O in it. Onus. Now, onus, the sort of burden of proof. I mean, it could be, that leads me to suspect proof might be the word that is missing the R, which means this could be poof. I mean, that's really speculative, but let's look. Well, kopjai means thank you. That must be, that must be Laos. Now, let's look at this. Campania's capital. Oh, is that Naples? And so to call at home, so this would be an umpire, a baseball umpire's call at home. The runner is safe. Mark in the World Golf Hall of Fame. I mean, this looks like it could be a name. Well, it's obviously a surname, but it looks like it could be O'Meara. Let's look here. A lunchtime liaison, a nooner. Saucy answer. God who loosens the limbs and weakens the mind. Eros, god of love. So this is O'Meara, in fact. You'll be there, and we see that that accent above the I that suggests this is French for island. I'll be there. Be. So to be in French is être, but that doesn't fit here. What is it suggesting? I'm not sure what this is. I mean, it's something to do with French, but I don't know what it's getting at entirely. Constellation almost above the North Pole. This must be Draco. So let's look at this opposite of takes off. Yes. Okay. So you take off your clothes, you don your clothes. Those are opposites. That makes sense. One-time White House initials. This is probably the initials of a president. So it could be FDR, LBJ, JFK. I mean, it could be any number of presidents. I mean, it's probably not JFK because it probably doesn't. J is sort of an unusual letter to end another word on. I really want to know what this French one is. H, that's vague. I'm not sure offhand. Let's look at this long dramatic accusation at a dentist's office. So it ends with, and, you can't handle the tooth. You can't handle the truth is what that would have been from A Few Good Men, I think. Am I misremembering what film that is? You can't handle the tooth. That's very good. So red card is hearts. I mean, that was my first guess. As I said, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, you really should not get hung up on one particular meaning of a word. And card, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. I think because we've got the Euros going on, and here in England, we're actually today is England in the Euro finals against Italy. So red card was on the mind. The football penalty sense of the word. And what this actually means is a red playing card, a red heart, the suit, red suit. Is this ETA? Is that what this is? I'll be there. You'll be there. I don't know. I mean, could it be sir? But that's on in French. Not quite right. Sorry, let's go back to some of these others. Mea culpa is my bad. One-time White House initials. It could be DDE for Dwight D. Eisenhower. Oh, isn't this odd? Okay. This onus for magicians disappearing act. I think I literally said the words burden of proof when I was saying what an onus is, and I just didn't even think to consider whether it fit. And that's what it is. It's burden of proof. Very good. City council representative. In some localities, that would be an alderman. They have those in the city of London, not Greater London, and in New York and some other places. Stickers. This is probably burrs, the sort of little plant type, little burr that sticks to you. Bob Marley's, oh, Could You Be Loved? Chicken blank, discontinued fast food snack, I don't know, Mick something, obviously. It's got to be from McDonald's since it's got that prefix, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Icelandic saga, why, what is this? Why can't I bring this to mind? I'm not sure. Pronounced with authority. This WO looks sort of odd. Little to a Scot. Is that not we? What is this? Twitter handle starter. I mean, it would be the at symbol, the ampersand. No, it's not the ampersand. What is that called? Oh, it's at symbol. Oh, wait. I think all of this is wrong. I think this is all incorrect. Because, yeah, I think I made a complete hash of this. Let's kill this all. I think this is all wrong. Sorry. I think that's why I had such a tough time up here. I think I put in some bad guesses and it put me off on a completely bad path here. So this is the at symbol, and then I think little to a Scot. This is going to be SMA or something like that. Or forget if that's spelled SME or SMA, but pronounced with authority could be said so. Yeah, so I must have really made a complete mess of this whole zone. So so this probably isn't Ossie Davis. I said that just because Ossie Davis is an actor, and I don't even know that I've seen Thelma and Louise. So that was I don't know why I went ahead and put that in. I must have been really just led astray by all my other incorrect answers. Yikes. This I'll be there is gonna drive me absolutely crazy. Let's jump back down here for the moment. I haven't been here in a while. Okay, party animal. I guess that's a monkey. So it isn't anything to do with politics, I don't think. What makes it a party though? Maybe is it a monkey? I don't know. Actually, I'm not. Maybe it isn't. It's an animal. Oh, donkey. It is political. It is a political because a donkey is the party mascot of the Democratic Party in the United States. Okay. Yep. To campaign for, I mean, it could be plump for. It could be, I don't know, it could be several things. There's power of a cowboy's shoe. So that boot is going to relate to brute in some sort of saying. Now, what would that be? Oh, I don't know. Not overlooked could be seen. Activity for some pen pals. Now, I wonder if this is pen pals, as in people who write letters back and forth to one another, or if it could be something cute like, you know, pigs in a pen or something. I mean, it could be something like that. It doesn't have a question mark, but if you could still interpret it straight without it being a sort of necessarily a pun, they don't always need the question mark on there. A fork point is a tine. I guess I'm doing this thing where I haven't even looked at all the clues yet, and I'm already okay. Storied cauldron stirs. Oh, that could be. It's probably hags, like from Macbeth. Activity for some pen pal. Well, for some, it could be emailing actually. Let's see. Bliss. Oh boy, this is ringing a bell. This will probably be some sort of Latin term or something meaning bliss. I'm not sure. Oh man. Determination is probably grit. Oh wow, look at me, what an idiot. Brute strength. I mean, it's it's about the most straightforward phrase that it could have possibly been, and I just looked right past it. Campaign for is stump for. I said plump for, which I guess is also sort of possible, but stump for is much more appropriate. I wonder if that makes this scene incorrect, because I think stump for is correct. And this says giveaways during some pledge drives. I mean, oh, well, this is Euphoria. Good God, I'm missing some really obvious, really obvious things today. This is doing this doing this on a video. It's not good for one's ego, I have to say. I mean, that's fine. I don't mind, but it is funny. It is funny to be confronted with these sort of weak points. When you're doing this privately, it's easy to just sort of run past things and get all the things you know before worrying about the ones that you. Well, I guess the irony is that obviously I know this. Everybody knows this word, euphoria, but I just didn't see it for whatever reason. So eagle-like. Oh, under par. So it is the Gulf. It is the Gulf meaning. So what is this? Giveaways during some pledge drives. Oh, very clever. NPR totes, tote bags. When the sort of, I guess, quintessential sort of, I guess, yuppie prize giveaway would be a tote bag. A kind of wonder is a one-hit wonder. So 1 in 100 is a senator. There are 100 senators in the U.S. Senate, so that's what that's referring to. This H, could that be Ada? Chicken McBites? I mean, I'll be there. What is this? Oh my goodness. I think this little to a Scot is sma. Oh, Gina Davis. Good God. Okay. Study of how gels gel. This is probably dynamics. And that would be, so fluid dynamics is what comes to mind. So would it be food dynamics? Is that? What does that mean? That study of how gels gel. Food. Is that what that is? Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. Icelandic saga. Oh, is it Edda? Is it Edda? That's the Icelandic saga that I couldn't bring to mind earlier? I think it is. Oh, dressage. Oh my goodness. Art of riding and training a horse is dressage. Yikes. Okay. Cut it out. So, I mean, it could simply be stop. I mean, it could be stop or shoe. Why did I think it was shoe before? It was because I had some incorrect answer. Put in other words, it does start with re, but it's not rephrased, it's restated. So cut it out is stop. Boy, that is a funny coincidence that I had shoe in there and there's a shoe over here. This is sort of a chaos theory, sort of butterfly effect thing where one incorrect fill. But that is quite a coincidence, really, though. I mean, that is kind of remarkable. I don't think that was misdirection on the part of the constructor, because the likelihood that they would assume somebody would incorrectly fill in that precise way. I mean, there's no way that was intentional. That is absolutely bonkers. So this is not food dynamics. Well, maybe it is. Well, what is this? I don't know. Lacking. Oh, and you know what? Did I say unpoised? I thought unpoised when I was looking at this before. I can't remember if I said it, but I think that's actually what this is. Lacking self-assurance is unpoised. Bruins legend Phil. Maybe it's not. This is looking wrong again, this whole area. Well, Johnny Cash definitely did shoot a man in Reno just to see him die. So this is Reno. And what the doctor ordered is a drug. Oh, goop dynamics for group dynamics. And that's it. That's the puzzle. Okay, that was pretty shaky. That was a shaky one. But we got there in the end, and it wasn't too bad. 44 minutes for a Sunday. I mean, I would hope to be able to do it faster on my own, but that's not too bad with the narration. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a bit of a rocky solve, I would say. I hope it wasn't too painful. I suspect there were quite a few moments in this puzzle that during which people watching would have been yelling at the screen, and unfortunately, um, my psychic sensing powers are not such that I was able to hear your frustrated cries and aid myself in the fill of this puzzle. That was a nice puzzle. I think that was a really good puzzle. I don't think I was as up to the task as I would have liked to have been, but I think that was really good. Those theme answers were great. That missing the R was really consistently. I wonder, can we look back at this? Well, yeah, group dynamics, Milwaukee Brewers for presumably Milwaukee Brewers, taming of the shrew, boot strength for brute strength, and this magnificent full height clue, you can't handle the tooth for you can't handle the truth. I mean, that is fantastic. That is like well done, Ashish Vengsarkar. Well done. Ably assisted as always by Will Shorts. I mean, this is a great puzzle. This was really, really good. I wish I had been a little more confident throughout. I was a little bit unpoised, I would say, throughout this. Oh, I forgot burden of proof here. That's great. I mean, I just really think this was a great puzzle, and I slightly regret my hesitancy throughout it. But well done, Ashish. All right. Well, I'll be back tomorrow for a Monday puzzle, which should be a bit smoother on my end. And I hope you've been enjoying these. Subscribe if you have been, so you can see it every day. I hope to keep doing this indefinitely. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Sorry, I'm back. This is such a great puzzle. I just wanted to point out a couple other things. The this minus sign, I made such a point of explaining what the dash glyph usually means in a crossword clue, and then it was just minus sign. I mean, this puzzle had such a strong theme threaded throughout it, and I do think that the strength of that theme allowed the constructor to have some fun with this sort of misdirection. And then even on top of all of that, there was that sort of light politics theme that slightly ran through it. I mean, there was just a lot going, this donkey and then this stump campaign for, and I think there was something else in there as well. I can't remember. Just really good. It was just a really, really good puzzle. And then, I mean, this small little to a Scott, a great piece of misdirection, because would be overwhelmingly what you would think that would be. I mean, that seemed like such low hanging fruit. Just great. This is a really, really good puzzle. I mean, this is certainly the best puzzle I've done on the camera. And, I think that's especially impressive. I'm sorry I'm just going on and on about this, but Sunday is honestly usually my least favorite day, because the sheer volume, the sheer number of clues that you have to solve. I mean, I honestly I get kind of bored of it sometimes in comparison to, an easy regular sized puzzle you can fly through. A difficult ordinary sized puzzle gives you some challenge, but it's reasonably constrained. I often find that the size of a Sunday puzzle is just not. It can't sustain itself very well. But this was just fantastic. It was great. I griped a little bit about this E card, but even when I was griping about the E prefix, I acknowledged that this is a relatively accepted portmanteau at this point. So fair enough. Just a great puzzle. I've said great about 400 times. Sorry.
Pickford was great. Massive fan. Henderson was great. This is just great. I mean, it's great. It's just great. It's great.
Anyway, Well done. Well done, Ashish Veng Sarkar. Very, very well done. Okay, I'm off for real now. Sorry about that. Goodbye. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Oh, Penelope Cruz. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Whoops.